Good evening, friends. I'm Ravindra Srinivasa from Bangalore. Right now, I have with me Smt Sharada Subramaniam from Greater Delhi. Namaste, madam. Welcome to the knowledge sharing program.
Namaste, Mr. Ravindra, and thank you very much for having me on your program again.
Welcome, madam. Today, what knowledge you are going to give us?
Today, I think ideally, because as we all know, tomorrow is Shivaratri, and we are talking about my coaching practices. And as I did tell you in my first, in our first conversation, that I started as a coach mainly as a yoga instructor. I first, of course, started as a yoga practitioner, as a sadhaka, and because I guess I learned how to speak about the asanas, though I'm still not perfected any of the asanas to that extent, but because I can teach and communicate how to do the asanas in a good fashion, I was selected for a special training course on yoga for teachers training. There is a sansthan, which is a purely voluntary organization in Delhi called the Yog Kalyan Evam Manav, sorry, Yog Vigyan Evam Manav Kalyan Trust. So they select a few of their candidates, few of their own students to become teachers. So I joined that, and after that, for the last 3 years, I have been teaching yoga, 2.5 years now, almost 3 years, especially after the online classes came. We have a huge number of people. So every day, 7 days a week, 7 a.m., I conduct these classes, and we have more than 45 people with ranging from the age of 15 to 85 in that group. So that is the biggest satisfaction that I get teaching yoga. And why, I will just come to you. Tomorrow being Shivaratri, first of all, I think yoga is connected with Lord Shiva in such an intrinsic way that we cannot think of Shiva or concentrate on the power that Shiva represents without thinking of yoga. He is the Adi Yogi, the ultimate yogi. He sits in Mount Kailasha in penance, in meditation, in deep contemplation. And even Shiva's third eye is the Agya Chakra, which we are all, it's a very important chakra that we all focus on. It is something that the Bhagavad Gita has spoken about. When the Bhagavad Gita, of course, is entirely about the kinds of yoga. There is, of course, Karma Yoga, which is one of its most popular parts. And then you have the Bhakti Yoga, and then you have Jnana Yoga. So Bhagavad Gita very clearly emphasizes that yoga is not like the Western world tries to tell you, just exercise, wearing all these tight clothes and, bending and things like that. Yoga is basically comes from the word join, to join. Yoga means a yuga, so that yukta. So that has also been taken in English called yoke. The word yoka is taken from yog, which is basically yukta. So that to join, and the joining is from the mind and the atma. So when you join to the universe and to the bigger powers, that is when you are a true yogi. And Shiva, I think, represents that in the biggest and greatest way. He is in Mount Kailasha in the cold mountains, wearing only loincloth and with skulls on his as his ornaments. He doesn't require any riches, no palaces, no luxuries. He travels on Nandi the bull, and he is the most hermit-like god that we know in our entire Sanatana Dharma tradition. And from that, he develops his power, that he is able to, and the whole power is a power of destruction. But he is the destroyer, because without destruction, there cannot be regeneration. So unless and until you learn to destroy, you cannot create. So you have to finish one process. You have to remove certain things if you want new things to come. So I think the whole, even the concept of death in our philosophy is a very beautiful concept, because it does not mean any kind of end. There is a permanence which we continue. Our lives do not end when we die. Another janma or another birth, and therefore we in a way are as eternal as the supreme. And that supreme is in a state, a yogi may look serious, but the yogi is in a state of bliss. A yogi has to be pure happiness. There cannot be a sign of sorrow, no dukkham, no anger, no nothing should worry him. And therefore, when the Gita says samatvam yoga uchyate, basically keeping your mind as calm and detached is yoga. So there again, Shiva represents that yogi in the most beautiful way. So tomorrow, Shivaratri is celebrated also in the same manner. It is a day of penance, of fasting, of detoxification. It also marks the end of winter and the start of the summer season. The start of the new year will come very soon. So all new things start with this particular festival. And therefore Shiva is not, you do not have the same kind of rasa leelas or the love and bhakti kind of loving songs that you may have for Krishna or Rama. But Shiva is Shiva is discipline. Shiva is a routine. Shiva is deep meditation, contemplation, inward looking. Look and search within you. So that is the beauty of Shiva and yoga, and I think that is what we should talk about.
Yes, yes, this is quite informative and quite energetic. In this point of view, since tomorrow is Mahashivaratri being celebrated all over the world, and especially in our country, India. So, what mantra chant you recommend to our audience to do more meaningfully, to celebrate more energetically tomorrow?
I'm so happy you asked me that. For the mantras, people who are busy and who do not have time, or who are not very much into the chanting process, can just recite Om Namah Shivaya. These 5 or 6 aksharas, if you say Om Namah Shivaya or Shivaya, that's Namah Shivaya. These are 5 aksharas or 6 aksharas. If you just close your eyes and repeat that, say 12 times, 108 times is ideal. More multiples you want to do it, even better. Just sit in contemplation quietly, possibly on the floor if possible. If you can do a Padmasana, even better. And if you can sit with Gyana Mudra, which is basically joining the forefinger and the index finger, and the thumb and the index finger, and putting it on your knees, and relax yourself, keep your back straight, close your eyes, focus on this, and just say Om Namah Shivaya. That's a very beautiful, energizing mantra. The Panchakshara and the Shadakshara that I spoke about also are 2 stotrams that we have. So if people, maybe you can Google it also, you can get the full text of it. It's a very short, simple Sanskrit, just 5 to 6 verses. And the beauty of it is, when you say Om, the two lines in that verse is about Om. Then when you say Na, then all the words like Nagendra Haraya Bhasma Suraya. So it starts with a Na. So like that it starts. So it's beautiful. And then when you go to Ma, there is a different set of chants. Then when you do Shi, there is a different. Va, there is different. Ya, there are different. And that is how the shloka ends. So that is the Om Namah Shivaya Shadakshara chant. People who are even more, of course, the Mahamrityunjay mantra is again Om Triambakam. I don't want to recite it here, but that is again the Mahamrityunjay mantra is a beautiful and very, very powerful mantra. As I told you, Mrityu in Indian culture is not inauspicious. Mrityu is also auspicious if it happens at the right time. It's a beautiful celebration. It is also it's a part of the entire cosmic order, and we cannot we don't want to stay away or deny it. So we accept even mrityu or death, as part of our reality, and therefore there is no fear of mrityu, or no worry about heaven and hell, and whether you are going to be beaten up or you are going to be burnt, or nothing of the sort. If you do wrong things, your karma will again affect you in your next janma. But your wrong things does not mean you're condemned for the rest of your life to burn in hell. So that is the beauty of India. So you don't have to fear death. You have to use every stage of your life, you strive to improve yourself. And that is the beauty of the Mahamrityunjay mantra. But it is also powerful when there are people who are unwell. It has had lots of positive results. People do continuous Mahamrityunjay chants when people are on the deathbed or in very serious health conditions, and many people have been known to recover or just by these chants. Of course, there is the Rudrashtakam, which is again a very much later chant written by Goswami Tulsidas, who has written the Ramayana actually, but it's a beautiful ode to Lord Shiva. Rudrashtakam is a nice, very simple Sanskrit, almost like Hindi, so anyone can understand it. I don't know, many of us know that Ravana, who was, a demon in other ways, was also a huge Shiva Bhakta. So he has written a Shiva Tandava Stotram, which is again a very beautiful stotram, but a little difficult because it has a lot of fast moving words, but it's again a very nice stotram. People can listen to it. It will be beautiful. It lends itself beautifully to dance also. So there are many such stotrams which are in honor of Lord Shiva. I can't immediately recall all of them, but yes, there are enough and more chants. But the simplest and best is to just recite Om Namah Shivaya.
Okay. As you told, Mrityu or death is what we Indians in Sanatana Dharma, we believe that it is a beginning of new.
Exactly.
Death is a beginning of a new. So you mean
Right.
to say you will go to the next level. So as you are mentioning about Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, you told by reciting Mahamrutyunjaya mantra in the along with the nearest person who is sick or ill or who is at the dying bed. So have you personally felt or have you personally experienced any such events in your life?
I'm so happy you asked me this because just last month, a childhood friend of ours, of my school friend, was diagnosed with COVID, and she got, unfortunately, when most people got Omicron, she got the Delta version. And on 3rd January, she had been to Shirdi and she came back. And 5th January, she got fever. And by 10th January, she was in the ICU. She was that serious.
Oh.
And by 12th January, they had put her on the ECMO machine, which is an artificial heart and lung machine, which is one step more serious than the ventilator. So we were sure that, everybody was just waiting for horrible news to come. And then our whole group of school friends, we have a WhatsApp group. Many of us started doing daily 108 Mahamrityunjay chants. And with a miracle, real miracle, after 1 month, on 11th February, she was finally out of the ICU. And her birthday was on 19th of February. 2 days before that birthday, she came back to her home. So this year, her birthday was literally like a new birthday only. She was back home. So this was my most recent and most powerful experience of how prayer and chanting and the energies, because after all, our mantras are not simple words. They are created, those Sanskrit sounds. Sound is an energy, and the sound waves create an energy which move into the universe and create certain ripple effects which reach to whatever impact they are supposed to do. That is why Sanskrit is considered such a scientific language, that even the computer language, machine language, they say Sanskrit is the best suited to be a machine, to be the machine language for programming and other things. And the meters in which every chant is made, all our old ancient rishis and munis, that meter is so pakka that when you chant it, even if you don't understand it, you can just hear it, you will get impact. So there are 3 levels in mantra chanting. One is you can just put on a audio tape or an audio YouTube or whatever and listen to it. That creates one energy. If like most South Indian homes, we do the Venkatesha Suprabhatam early morning. Just even if you don't understand one word, just that energy that it creates. All of us have, through our childhood, when we didn't even know what it was, the very sound creates that energy in you of waking up, rising and seeing a new day. The birds are shining, the sun is there, the flowers are blooming, all that comes out in that Suprabhatam. Similarly, that first you listen. After listening, if you are a little more interested, you can just read it from books. Then you can go to a teacher, understand how to pronounce the Sanskrit correctly, and then read it. And the most final is when you learn it and recite it without having the need of a book, with dhyanam, sitting on a floor, having your, of course you must have a bath, and all the hygienic aspects are part of it. But the energy that it gives you creates, like the Gayatri Mantra, for example, is not just simply a mantra. It is something, and it is so universal. It's a very secular prayer, I can say, because it only talks about the divine in me, recognizing the divine in you, and saying namaste to it. So there is that universal light which is part of all our civilizations. I mean, earth cannot survive without the sun. So light energy and the spirit that is within you and the energy which is within us is all the same thing. And that is what most of our mantras pay attention to. It's only in the later years, much more after the Vedic period, in the Puranas and in the Bhagavatams, and those are the texts where the concept of Rama and Krishna and all these other gods came about. Then, of course, there is this beautiful Devi Shakti mantras, which are so powerful. I think we are the only, of course, some ancient civilizations are there, but we worship the feminine energy. And the interesting thing is, Shiva is considered to be an amalgamation of both masculine and feminine energies. So the Ardhanarishwara that Shiva is worshipped as is half feminine. So that half feminine, you cannot have the world's energy or energy anywhere unless you have both masculine and feminine energy. So that equality between the two genders is so important. We had a very progressive ideas, much beyond. He's Pashupati Nath, so he looked after all your environment. Today you are talking of environment and conservation. Pashupati Nath is that. He was the lord of all the animals and the forests and everything. So that is Shiva again. He's Adi Yogi, of course. So he's a great yoga expert. He's Nataraja. Dance is again another form of yoga. So again, Shiva is Nataraja. Shiva is the dance. He is the music. He's art. Plus, the damru he bajaus. He plays. He does the tandav nrityam. So there is so much to celebrate about Shiva, and so much that you can imbibe in your own life from this whole Shiva story. There are so many good points and so many nice things that we can add to our lives.
This is really very informative, very mind-opening, and you have put a lot of energizing words to all of us. Really, we are very, very thankful to you, madam, for giving such a wonderful introduction. Yoga and Shiva and yoga are both one and the same, and we have emphasized on the basic concepts of mrityu, and we have clearly explained about the powers of mantra, and a lot of things you have mentioned, and we are very thankful to you. And hopefully we will be getting a lot more session with you to get more jnana, more knowledge from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravindra. I surely truly appreciate this and wish you a very, very happy Shivaratri. God bless everyone. Let's hope we are all happy and healthy in this coming year. And this coronavirus leaves us all, and we have a healthy, happy world where we can hug everyone we love and meet all the loved ones whom we have not seen in many years. That is my prayer for this year. Thank you so much.
And the last thing just flashed in my mind.
Yes.
You said you have a group of people, classmates and all, and you have chanted Mahamrutyunjaya mantra all at a time in order to get the child cured. So chanting mantra alone and chanting mantra from group of people will create a lot of vibration, energy, and it does a lot of miracles, right?
Absolutely, you are 100% right, because one person chanting, if 10 people chant, that number of vibrations are 10 times more.
Yeah.
So basically, when every human chants, that gets a. So though we were all staying in different places, we had decided that 5 p.m. every day we would sit and we would chant.
Yes.
So about 15-20 of us were doing that regularly.
Okay.
And that created a huge, at least we believe that it did.
No, strong belief will do a lot of miracles. This is, we have read, we have experienced,
yes,
and we have heard so many things about the belief. If you believe,
absolutely,
belief system will do a lot of wonders.
Absolutely. There is the saying, no faith can move mountains.
Yes.
So if you have faith, you can move mountains.
Yes. In this point of time, I would like to ask your suggestion. What if from tomorrow, whoever listens, whoever hears, see this video, can chant one mantra which can cure the problem of lot of diseases going on, and particularly now there is a war going on. For world peace, can we chant one mantra? Can you recommend any mantra? It will be, really, blissful to the world, actually.
I think the best mantra or chant would be the Shanti part, because this Shanti part is kind of gives Shanti to everything.
Yes.
If you
make it cool.
Yes.
To
so
make
you
it
say
harmonious.
Exactly. Om Dev Shantir Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shantir Apa Shantir Aushadhaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shantir Vishwe Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That's a beautiful chant for Shanti and peace, and it says Shanti to everything, from your rivers to your mountains to your Aushadhis to your Vanaspati to Antariksh, everywhere. So even these missiles and these nuclear testing, everything should be Shant. Peace is the most important virtue, and I think if the earth and human beings can live in peace, we can all progress together. But without peace, nothing can happen.
Yes.
Yoga is for creating peace. So if the peace is inside, the peace should be outside also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravindra. Namaskara.
Madam. Thank you.
Thank you.